Hello students, welcome to Gangs of Toppers. In this class, we are actually focusing on this topic, that is preventive measures. Since we have already studied the chapter that is pollution, we have already covered this chapter that is pollution, and the second topic is about the sources of pollution, and the third one is about water. Third one is effects of pollution. Means the first one is about the pollution, second one is that is sources of pollution, and the third one is what are the effects of the pollution. These three topics has been already covered. Now in this topic we are actually we are actually focusing on the preventive measures. Now pollution affects the air we breathe. The pollution, how the pollution affects the air as we breathe. And the second point is that the water we drink. The water we drink means how the pollution is going to affect. Pollution is going to affect the air as we breathe, and the water we drink, and the soil in which we grow our crops. Means now, as we already studied that this pollution has a wide effect. Means this pollution is going to affect our air as well as our water as well as our soil. So in this, how it is going to affect, as you know that air, the air we breathe, if this air is get polluted, then we are actually breathing the polluted air. So it is going to affect your health system. So again, with respect to water, that is the pollution is also going to affect the water, that is water pollution, and the soil is about the soil pollution. The gaseous fumes from the industries, the emission from the motor vehicles, the burning of the fossil fuels have made the air, especially in the cities, so poisonous that it has made the life difficult for the citizen. Now, actually, we are focusing on this topic, that is the emissions that is released from the motor vehicles. Means the emissions that is released from the motor vehicles and the burning of the fossil fuels. The burning of the fossil fuels means the burning of the natural gas, that is such as what? Such as our petrol, diesel, and the other natural gas, we can say, have made the air, especially in the cities, so poisonous that it had made life difficult for the citizen. Now these polluted air is going to, this polluted what pollutants, you can say that these emissions is going to affect the air, and thus air pollution cause, and these air pollution becomes so poisonous that it has made the life difficult for the citizen. So from this point we have already studied that what these what that is the gaseous fumes that is released from the industries and the emissions from the motor vehicles and the burning of the fossil fuels is actually going to affect the air, and these are basically very poisonous, and it is going to make the life difficult for the citizen. Now water is being polluted by the discharge of the pollutant from the industries. Now we are talking about the waters. Water is being polluted by the discharge of pollutants from the industries and household detergents and the sewage, offshore oil drilling, making it unfit for the human consumption. Means in this line, actually we are focusing on the water. Means how the water is polluted. It is actually being polluted by the discharge of the pollutants from the industries. And the second point is that household detergent and the sewage. Means household, that is you can say that is the wastewater that is drained by the from the water from our kitchens as well as bathrooms, and the offshore oil drills making it unfit for the human consumption. Now actually these discharge that is being released from the industries and the household detergents in the sewage is actually going to affect our water or cause water pollution. Soil is being polluted by the effluents discharged from the chemical industries, paper and the pulp industries, tanneries, textile mills, and commercial and the domestic waste, and the use of chemical fertilizer and the pesticides. Now in this line actually it is focusing on the soil. So how the soil is being polluted? It is being polluted by the effluent that is discharged from the chemical industries. Means the waste material that is discharged from the chemical industries, paper and the pulp mills, tanneries, textile mills, urban and the commercial domestic waste, as well as the use of chemical fertilizers and the pesticides. Therefore, a comprehensive set of preventive measures are required to check the growing menace of pollution. So, we need a comprehensive set, we need a particular SOP, a standard operating procedure. We need a SOP, that is in order to measure, that is in order to check the growing menace of this pollution. So some of these are given values. First one, we are going to study about the vehicular pollution. First one is about Vehicular pollution. The rising level of air pollution is most of our cities due to the rapid increasing number of the private vehicles. Now, actually, the air pollution rise in the air pollution is actually increased due to the rapid increasing in the number of the private vehicles. Now, actually, it is happening that air pollution basically is going to rise. Air pollution is going to rise when the private vehicles is going to rise, means there is a direct relation between the air pollution. If the private vehicles is going to increase, then our air pollution is going to increase. Okay. Now, what about this? An increase in the now second point is that an increase in the purchasing power of the middle. Now, if we increase the purchasing power of the middleman along with the lack of efficient public transport system. Now, first the purchasing power of the poor man plus the that is the lack of efficient transport system had led to upsurge in the number of car per families in the cities. Now, here it is talking that if the purchasing power of the middleman has increased, plus the first factor is that purchasing power of the middleman, and the second factor is that if there is not a efficient transport system, if you can say that is lack of a proper transport system, then these two factor is going to affect, or these two factor is going to increase the number of cars per families. What are the first one is that if that is the purchasing power of the families plus lack of transport or lack of a proper transport system, if these two is going to happen, suppose this is the cause, you can say this is the cause, and that is increase in the number of the vehicles per family is going to increase, this is the effect. So you should learn this relationship, that is purchasing power. This is the purchasing power of the man and the lack of a proper transport system. If this two is happening, or this if two is causing simultaneously, then the result is that the number of the cars per family is going to increase. Now, consequently, the road to and fro that is consequently the roads to and from any colony are so choked with the cars of various makes and size, blocking the lanes and bylanes at all times of the days and creating heavy traffic jams. Besides, these vehicles are the major source of air pollution in the cities. Now, it is talking about that the roads to and fro for the now. Suppose if there is a chalked, means if the road is chalked, then what is going to happen? It is going to happen that we if the road is chalked, then what is going to happen? That is the car that is coming, it is going to increase the heavy traffic. It is going to increase the heavy traffic. So the vehicles, so these vehicles are the major source of air pollution. Means in this line actually talking that if the road is blocked, then what is it causes heavy traffic jams. So if the traffic jams increase, then also the air pollution is going to increase. Now, second point is that vehicular emission has two negative effects on the environment. This vehicular motion emission has two negative effects on the environment. One is the global climate change, and the other is the air pollution and its negative health repercussion. First one is that about the climate change, and the second one is that negative health repercussion. Climate change is a result of increasing the carbon dioxide emissions. Means what is the related to climate change? That is increase in the carbon dioxide and the greenhouse gas effect from the carbon dioxide. The most important of the greenhouse gases, which acts like a blanket around the earth. Means you know that this greenhouse effect is actually as a result that it will act as a blanket around the earth, and thus what is going to happen? Increases the surface temperature and at warm level. Increasing the carbon dioxide concentration in the Earth's atmosphere efficiently add another blanket which warm the Earth's surface even more. Means it is talking about what is greenhouse gas. Now, besides carbon dioxide emissions, other vehicle emissions also contribute to air pollution. Vehicles account for most of the carbon monoxide, a large share of hydrocarbon, nitrogen oxides, and the particulates that is found in the atmosphere is in major urban areas. Means along with carbon dioxide, vehicles also emit carbon monoxide, hydrocarbon, nitrogen oxides, and the particulates that is found in the atmosphere. These are the major source. Now, nitrogen oxides is formed when nitrogen oxide is formed when nitrogen in the fuel or nitrogen of the air heated to temperature above itna degree Celsius in the presence of oxygen. Now, how nitrogen oxide is going to form? When this nitrogen of the air is going to heated up to itna temperature, that is about 1200, that is 1200 Fahrenheit, in the presence of oxygen. This reaction occurs in most of the car engine today. Now, this reaction that is this carbon monoxide is going to form when nitrogen is going to heat at temperature 1200 Fahrenheit degree and in the presence of oxygen, and this reaction is mostly occur in most of the car engine. Nitric oxide, that is NO, this nitric oxide NO is the initial product and the oxidized to nitrogen dioxide, means actually this NO is the initial product and this is again oxidized to form NO2. Nitrogen oxides also combine with water, leading to a compound that is of the atmospheric acidifications, especially the nitric acid. Now, this nitrogen dioxide is going to react with water to form that is nitric acid, and in turn this lead to acetylene. Now, after having this, that is, it is going to form a acetylene. Vehicle emissions constitute the greatest individual source of nitrogen oxides in the industrialized countries. Now, these vehicle emissions constitute, that is, the greatest individual source of nitrogen oxides in the industrialized cities. Now, you can say that what is the source of this nitrogen oxides? You can say that the vehicle emission. Most sorry. Most of the big cities in India are affected by the air pollution. As we know that most of the big cities that in India are affected by the air pollution and caused by the high level of total suspended particles. Means what are the reasons for having the air pollution? First one is that high level of total suspended particles. Second one is carbon dioxide. Third one is sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide. And it is exhaust pollution from the vehicle emissions that has increasingly become the source of air pollution in the cities. Now, it is talking that these vehicular emission is basically increased in the urban areas and become the source of air pollution in the cities. Now, alarmed at the air pollution level in Delhi, the Delhi High Court termed living in Delhi as living in a gas engine. Now, actually, recently, the court has also warned that, or also termed that is the living in the city as living in the gas chamber. So, in 2014, the WHO released a list of world's 20 most polluted cities, and in that 13 of them were from India. So, from here we can conclude that WHO, that is World Health Organization, recently released a world's 20 most polluted cities, and in that out of 20 cities 13 are from India, and therefore Indian cities need to curb pollution. Now, it is talking that it is necessary to curb, or it is necessary to reduce pollution from all the sources. But vehicles need a special attention as they emit toxic fumes within our breathing zone. Now, it is talking that we should take care of these vehicles because these vehicles is going to emit toxic fumes or toxic air, which is going to affect our breath. The following measures can help to curb air pollution. Now, there are some measures so we can curb the air pollution. First one is that carpooling. Carpooling refers to the sharing of a car journey by the person traveling on the same route. Now, this is a carpooling. Suppose this person has one car and this person has again one car, and this person has also one car and this person has also one car. So, suppose this car actually consumes 50 liter in order to reach from place to B, and again this person is also going to the place B and it also consumes 50 liter, and it also consumes 50 liter, it also consumes 50 liter, and they are going to the place, they are going to a same place. Then what is going to happen? Suppose if carpooling is done, means this person actually attended this and this person this attended also joined this car, and this person also joined this car, and this person also joined this car. Then what is going to happen here? We are actually reducing 150 liter. We are actually reducing 150 liter consumption. So, if the consumption is less, then carbon vehicular emission is going to less, and we are actually minimizing the pollution. Now, It helps to save money. Now from here we can conclude that we are actually saving money. We are actually saving money in buying the fuels and maintenance of the cost of the cars. It helps to save petrols and the diesels and thereby save foreign exchange, and thus goes in buying these fuels. Now we are actually saving the petrol, and by saving the petrols or diesels we are actually saving the foreign exchange, and that goes into buying this actually this foreign actually we are actually foreign the exchange, and that goes into buying these fuels, means that we are actually buying this fuel from where Russia. So in order to pay, means Russia does not need in rupee. Russia needs the rupee in Russia needs in what? Dollar. So we are actually saving the foreign exchange. It reduces traffic congestion. We are now third point is that it is going to reduce the traffic congestion, means we can say that is traffic jams on the roads, and thereby prevents traffic jams. Reduces fuel consumption and commuting time, means commuting times and the cost of road repairs. By carpooling, we are actually what is going to reduce first? It reduces the traffic congestion and on the roads, and thereby prevents the traffic jams. First one is that prevents traffic jams. Second one is that reduces fuel consumption, and third one is that commuting times and the cost of roads also, the cost of road repair also it is going to reduce. It helps to use commuting times in useful pursuit. If one drives to work alone every day, the time spent behind the bill is especially wasted. Riding in a carpool can help one to use this time to check and answer emails, read newspaper or novels, prepare for meeting, check bank balance, and simply relax. Now it is what is this? It is talking about that commuting time means what we are actually we can use this time. Suppose we are talking this example. Suppose this person is driving his own car, this person is driving his own car, and this person is again driving his own car, and this person is driving on. If suppose this person join this car, only one car, then what is going to happen? Only one person will drive, and the remaining will do what is going to do? It is actually in the time he can spend here what he can spend in checking and answer the email, reading the newspaper, novels, and prepare for meetings, and because simply he can relax. Okay, he does not need to focus on driving and all. Now third one is that it helps to distress by talking to fellows commutators, sharing an anecdotes. Anecdotes means that is the good stories, build a friendship. Now by what is the advantage of having carpool? It is going to distress by talking, it is going to feel happy by talking with these people, because they are going to share a few type of small stories or even a joke, and this is going to help build friendship. Many online services provide a choice to ride share with the people of your choice. Now the best example is what? Bala Bala cab. I think it is very trending in Haryana and Gujarat. Now, promotion of public transport. Second point is that about the promotion of public transport. Public transport is a shared passenger transport. Now, public transport is what? Actually, we are talking about the bus services. Public transport is basically a shared passenger transport services which is available use by the general public, which is actually we are actually available for the use of general publics, as distinct from the modes such as taxis, carpooling, or hired buses. Public transport modes include cities, bus, trams, passenger trains, and the metro train. Now, this public transport is actually include city bus, trams, that is a light train, passenger train, and the metro train. Buses makes up to that is 90% of the public transport in India. It is very important that this buses is going to make up to 90% of the public transport in India, and serves as cheaper mode of the transport. And this bus actually is going to serve a cheap mode of transport for the general public. These buses are mostly run by the state. These buses actually is going to run by the state government owned transport corporations like Delhi Transport Corporations in Delhi, and Brihan Mumbai Electric Supply and Transport in Mumbai. It means this transport system is basically run by the state government. The suburban railway services in India are limited and are operational only in Mumbai. Now, we are talking about this suburban railway services. These are limited only in Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, Hyderabad, Ahmedabad, Pune, Delhi, and between Kanpur and Lucknow. So, we are talking about the suburban railway services. The Mumbai suburban railway transport that is serves that is 6.3 million passenger daily and the highest passenger density in India. So this is very important that this Mumbai suburban railway transport is going to serve that is daily 6.3 million passenger per day and the highest passenger density in the world. Suburban suburban train and the suburban trains are run between the central business district and the suburban and the other locations that draw large number of the people on the daily basis. Means it is talking that this suburban trains is going to run between two distant places and it is going to draw a large number of the people on a daily basis. Suburban trains that handle commuter traffic are mostly electric multiple units or you can say EMU. They usually have 9 or 12 coaches and sometimes even 15 to handle rush hours traffic. Now, it is talking that we can say in general you see a local train. Local train generally have 9 to 12 coaches and sometimes it has 15 trains also. At present, the metro rail is operational in, now we are talking about that metro rail is actually operational in metro system that is Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai, Jaipur, Chennai, Gurgaon and Bangalore. However, in recent year, there has been an increasing trends for private vehicles. Now, in this recent year, we see that there has increased in the private vehicles. Means it has become a trend to have a private vehicles, and this has resulted in far more vehicles on the road, leading to the more vehicular. Now, due to this, we have more vehicles on the road, and thus more vehicular emissions, and thus more pollution and if the public transport is used more frequently then this trend can be reversed. Now it is talking that if we are focusing on the public transport then buying a private vehicle is going to reduce. So we are actually reversing the trend to buy the and its subsequent harmful effect. Now at the same time we are going to reduce its effect or harmful effect. The main advantage of using public transport are as follows. It reduces damage to the environment by reducing emission. Now first one point is that it is going to reduce the environment by reducing the emission. So what is the advantage of using public transport? First, it is going to reduce the damage to the environment that is caused by the emission. For example, one bus emits far fewer fumes than 20 cars. Suppose if one bus is going to emit 20 bus fumes cars, similarly the train emission of carbon dioxide per passenger per kilometer are much less than the travel car. It requires 1/5 energy passengers per kilometer compared to the road based on transport system. Now it is talking about the public transport that it requires only 1/5 energy per passenger to run to the road based on transport system, and it therefore reduces it and it is therefore reducing to the fuel consumption also, and thus helps to save what is going to save the foreign exchange and in buying the petrol and diesel. It is talking about that if you are going to use the private if you are going to use the what is it that is public transport, if you are going to use the public transport then what is going to happen, we are actually reducing the fuel consumption and thereby help to save the foreign exchange and that is used in the buying the petrol and diesel. It causes less noise. Now second point is that it causes less noise, no air pollution and is eco-friendly. It helps to save money that is spent on the maintenance of the personal and at the same time it also save money. It is going to save money that is spent on the maintenance of the personal vehicle. It occupy no road space. Now third point is that it occupy no road space if underground and only about 2.6 in only about 2.6 meter width road if elevated. It avoids the needs to find parking space for private vehicles. Now at the same time, if you are using the public transport, it avoids the need to find the parking space. It reduces congestion on the roads and thereby traffic jams and traveling time. Now, if you are using the public transport, it is going to reduce the congestion, that is the road jams, and thereby also reduces and also the traveling time also. It is safer to travel by the public transport than the private. Now, it is safer to travel with the public transport than the private transport. It is actually reduces the number of the accidents also. Now, third point is that no smoking zone. Smoking is the inhalation of the smokes of the burning tobacco encased in a cigarette, BDs, pipes, and the cigar. Now, it is talking about that smoking, that is the inhalation of the smoke of the burning tobacco. Actually, it is very harmful, and in this way, nicotine, the active ingredient in the active ingredient. What is this ingredient in the tobacco and is inhaled into lungs and where most of it stay. Now it is talking about that this active ingredient that is present in the tobacco is being inhaled and it is basically going to stay in the lungs, and the rest passes into the blood streams, and the rest passes to the blood, reaches the brain in about 10 seconds and dispersing throughout the body in about 20 seconds. Now it is talking about that these nicotine or the active ingredient that is present in the tobacco is going to our brain, and after that is dispersed throughout the body. Smoking is recognized as the leading preventable cause of the death. Now it is very important that this smoking is injurious to health. Now it is always talked that and smoking is injurious to health. Yes, it is true. Smoking is recognized as the leading preventable cause of death. Anyone with a smoking habits has an increased chances of lungs. Now, third point is that anyone with a with this smoke habit has an increased chance of lungs, cervix, and other types of cancer, and respiratory diseases like asthma, bronchitis, and the cardiovascular disease such as heart attack, high blood pressure, etc., and the stroke. These are also going to affect due to smoking. A smoke does not just harm the smoker but also people nearby. Now it is talking that a smoking is not going to harm the smoker, but also it is going to affect the other also who breathe in the smoke that is inhaled by the smoker, and that is called as a passive smoker. Recently, the researcher has shown that the concentration of the second-hand tobacco, that is a smoke, that is what is concentration of second-hand tobacco, that is a now now we're talking about that recent researchers has shown the concentration of the second-hand tobacco smoke that is in many outdoors areas is often as high or higher than the some indoors areas, and the risk posed by such outdoor exposure as well as beyond accepted norms when the large number of people are involved exposed. Net is talking about that what is the going to affect smoking. This is a very best diagram. Smoking. First one is about the bronchitis. First one is bronchitis. Second one is that about the cataract or the loss of eyesight. Third one is about the arthritis, and the fourth one is lungs cancer, mouth cancer, and the throat cancer, ulcer, and the related to our teeth and aging and the facial wrinkling, asthma, and reduces the life expectancy, and the last one is hypertension or the heart attack. These are the effects of smoking. Now it is written that therefore the massive smoker or those who unavoidably breathe in the second hand tobacco at public place have increased chances of many health problems such as lungs cancer, asthma, bronchitis, and the sudden infant death syndrome in children. Now it is talking that the smoker who or unavoidably breathe in the second hand tobacco. Second hand means water. If a person is actually smoking and now he gives to other, so that is called as second hand tobacco, has an increased chances of many health problems such as lungs cancer, asthma, bronchitis, and the sudden infant death syndromes. And there are approximately 120 million smoker in India. Now it is to talk about that we have 120 million smoker in India, and according to the World Health Organization, India is home to 12% of the world's smoker, and approximately around 9 lakh people die every year in India. Now it is talked about that in India approximately 9 lakh people die every year, and we have how many smoker? 120 million smoker, and out of this every year 9 lakh people die in India. due to smoking. As a preventive measures, a mandatory specific statutory health warning on cigarette packet are introduced in 1975. Now, in order to reduce the death of the people, that is the government has made statutory warning on the cigarette, that is was actually introduced in 1975. Re- Realizing the seriousness of the problem, smoking in public places were prohibited nationwide from the October 2 under the provision of smoking in public place rule 2008. Now, in order to realize the seriousness of the problem, the smoking in the public places was prohibited nationwide. On the 2nd October itself, under the provision of smoking in the public place rule 2008. The smoking ban pertains to public places which include auditoriums, cinemas, hospitals, public transport, that is aircraft, buses, train, metros, taxis, and their related facilities, that is airport, bus stand, railway stands, restaurants, hotels, bars, pubs, amusement centers, offices, libraries, and the court, post office, market, shopping malls, canteens, educational institutions, and the parks. Now it is talking about that. What are the which are the area that is prohibited? First one is about cinema, hospitals, transport, that is air transport, bus transport, train transport, metro, and the taxis, and the related facilities such as air, bus, and bus stands, and the railway stations. Now, a person caught smoking in the public places has to be pay a fine. Now, one more rule was made that a person that caught in smoking public places, that was caught in public places, in that he was actually smoking in a public place. He has to pay a fine. By creating no smoking zone in public places, an attempt has made to save not only passive smoker but also the discouraged smoker to give up. Now, what is the advantage of having a or printing no smoking zone? The advantage that it first point is that it is not only it is going to save the passive smoker, and the second one is going to discourage the active smoker. What is the advantage of no smoking zone? First one, it reduces the possibilities of second-hand tobacco a smoker that is being by the non-smoker. Now it is talking about that if what is the use of no smoking zone? First point is that it is going to reduce the possibility of second-hand tobacco smoker that is being by the non-inhaler. It reduces air pollution. Now, the second point is that it is going to reduce the air pollution. The air which have prohibited smoking have become found to have a better indoor air quality as opposed to area where smoking is allowed. Now, it is talking about that it is if you do like this, it is going to reduce the air pollution, and the area which are prohibited smoking zone have become famous as a public indoor air quality. Now, if these people are not going to smoke, then what is going to happen? That is, the air quality is also going to improve nearby the area, and it reduces health care cost by reducing the chances of disease caused by the smoking. Now, it is also talking that if we create a no smoking zone, then it is going to reduce the health care cost. It is going to reduce the health care cost and thereby reducing the chances of disease that is caused by the smoking. It reduces the chance of influencing other. Now, third point is that it is going to reduce the chances of influencing other, especially the youth, to take on the habit of smoking. It reduces the chance of accidental fires in the place. Now, third point is that it is going to reduce the chance of accidental fires in the place, and which highly flammable materials, forest fire, and the fire which started from lit this cigarette. Now if we are going to create a no smoking zone, then we are actually making the place safer. And also making the place forest fire, and also it is not going to allow the forest fire and the fires which started in the lit cigarette. Now, thank you.